But now we're going to Alabama, where humble quilts stitched with love and used for warmth travel to our nation's capital, where they are displayed as fine art. Our story begins in Washington. Their stitches may not be perfectly sewn, and their edges not always even. But the beauty of these quilts aren't in the technique. The beauty, much like jazz, is intuitive, vibrant, improvisational.
African-American quilt makers talk about playing colors almost as if they're musical instruments.
Robert Cargo, a former university professor and folk art gallery owner in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, has assembled one of the most important quilt collections in the United States.
I began collecting quilts, and my wife and I both are from Alabama, and it seemed natural that we focus on Alabama quilts. Everybody was getting central heat, and they had large stocks of quilts that they no longer needed. And so I would watch the newspapers for garage sales or yard sales, and I never failed to find just exceedingly beautiful quilts. These quilts came from the hands of women who were of necessity making quilts for family covers.
We needed the quilts to keep warm. Sometimes we had 5 quilts on.
Cargo found that these quilts offered more than just warmth. Their creativity expressed a style, a culture, and a tradition that transforms them into works of art.
They have made dozens and dozens of just exceptional quilts.
Larissa Outland, who is 100 years old, Mary Maxgen, and Roberta Jemison were prolific in their work, and Dr. Cargo became their ardent patron.
He bought over 8 quilts for me at once. Then he come back and got some more. He bought a couple of snail triggers for me. He sure did. Yeah.
I make quilts, and I make quilts to tell stories.
Yvonne Wells, a retired school teacher, is another of Dr. Cargo's discoveries who has gained recognition as an international folk artist.
In 1985, after his insistence, I showed at Kentucky, and that year I won Best of Show. I think it was the purity of my work that caught the attention of the judges. I think it was the simplicity of it and the honesty of it.
Her bold improvisational quilts tell stories based largely on socio-political and biblical themes.
I think the piece that is, to my mind, the best is the being in total control of herself. It shows Miss Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, holding a fistful of dollars in one hand and a black baby in the other. It's a powerful piece of work.
There's a thing called the 3 H's, head, heart, and hand. What my head sees, my heart feels, and my hand created.
I like to think of them as kind of metaphors for liberty and freedom. Here, I can do exactly what I want. I make the rules, and I can break them if I want to, and nobody can do anything about it.
Yet, what lies at the heart of these quilts may be simpler than political metaphors or artistic statement.
These are women, for the most part, I suspect, who have never really been inside a museum to see quilts hanging on the wall as if they were paintings. They marvel at why people would be so excited about it. They're just quilts, after all, they would say.
And this is one of Mrs. Outland's quilts. Imagine this type of work at 100 years old.
It's amazing.
It is. Now don't go away, Joan's next.
And I'm going to show you an easy way to add dimension to your next quilt.